Hello friends, this is Scott. And June so far has been a very busy month. We got my kid graduated. We have the school garden planted. I have another video coming on part 3 of the school garden. I've planted most of my home garden. I still have some work to do there. Real estate, we had our best month I think we've ever had, my wife and I, in May. And we've been down the hobby farm and getting a little bit of work done. And I was able to come down for a couple days and a couple nights. And the pasture is looking really good. I'm still waiting for the neighbor to bring some animals on the pasture. I'm just not quite ready to take care of large animals myself, so I offered up the pasture, and we'll see what he puts on there. But I'm looking at what I needed to do, and I mowed the whole entire property. But I'm tired of my fence rows being weed covered, because what happens is they just go into my new planting beds that I've made on the other side of the fence, as you see there. So I've got to put a border edging and things on my side of the property. This is the city side I'm standing on. But, when you have weeds along fence lines and it's wire fence, weed eaters don't like wire fences. So it's really, it's a little bit of manual labor here to get in here and adequately take care of the ditch banks if you don't have animals to eat it. There's my favorite tool, though, for this is my Hori Hori that a good friend gave me last year, and it's come to great use. Just a serrated gardening tool that you can dig holes and cut things down, and I'm just doing the chop and drop method. So my plan is I want to smother the weeds on this side of the fence, obviously weed, smother them, and then do the other side of the fence too. But I'm looking for raw materials, and I'm looking at the city property, and they did actually come and they mowed it down to about 10, 11 inches tall. But I'm thinking, you know what, I've never seen this property fully mowed, and I need the raw materials to try to smother the weeds on the fence line. So I went ahead and I mowed the entire length of the city property on the outside of my fence. Now, this may not look great to you with all the bare dirt, but with the heat of summer, hopefully the weeds will not grow very much. But to me, it looks great. It's not just a weed fest. And I want to make this house fit into the neighborhood and really truly be a contributing member of the neighborhood. We have some lamb days coming up here in July, and I want to make sure that my property looks good for everybody coming to town for the little town festivities. So I went ahead and mowed it, and I did it for a couple reasons. Because it'd never been mowed, I needed raw materials, and I just wanted to do it. I just felt like mowing today, and I have a self-propelled mower, so it's not that hard. I just got to follow the mower and dump the bags. So, but it as you see here, it looks different, but it's all cut short. I wish it was all green and lush with grass with no weeds, but that's not now, and that'll be the future. I'm going to have to weed and feed my own yard, but it's getting to be the hotter time of the summer, and I don't want to just have brown spots all through the yard. So I'll let the weeds kind of go. In the fall, I'll weed and feed, and then I'll take those grass clippings. I won't use them in my garden. I'll just use them on the outside of the fence to continue to smother weeds. So there's a look after we got it all weeded, both sides, and threw down the grass clippings from my mowing. So I still need more grass clippings, and then I need to top these beds off with more organic matter, more maybe horse manure, maybe compost. I probably need to just put some plastic on these because I don't know if I'm going to get to planting them this year or not. I'm just going to get them ready, and then so that the soil will, the earth life can break all this material down, and then next year I can plant into it probably. But the other thing I needed to do was I put all these rings on these trees, and I still have some more rings to put on, but I'm glad I didn't put them all on because we have an issue with weeds in the rings. And there's the new cat, Willow, and that was the cat that decided to hang out with me while I was doing all the yard work. It was pretty funny. This cat is really making this a second home. I don't know where its first home is, but it likes to hang out here. But so you got to have fencing to protect from the trees from the deer. But what do? I put wood chips down, but the weeds grow right in it. And when I put the rings on, I wired them up pretty tight, and that was a mistake. I needed to wire tight all the way around except for one side, and then I needed to probably zip tie that so I could open them up and get in easily to be able to weed because it'll be a continuous thing. I am going to put a lot more wood chips down. I have more in the back. So I've got to open up all these cages and weed it, and then bring another load of, at least one wheelbarrow load of wood chips for each tree, and try to smother these weeds out a little bit more. So that was the process and the project for the evening after I had mowed the entire property. And you see it's pretty messy in there, but taking the cages apart was the hardest part. So I think I learned a lesson from that. So I still have more cages to put on, and I've got to stake these skinnier trees. Now, Willow really valued my wood chips, and I guess it was a nice, cool place to lay down. So, made a little bed. So cat's enjoying it anyway. And I also decided I got to make a dent in my little pile of wood that I brought down. I've got a lot more wood. I probably have a cord of wood to bring down, if not a little bit more, from a tree at our rental house we got cut down. But I brought some down, previous weeks. So I decided to do a little chopping, just get a little more exercise. And my back was a little stiff from all the all the mowing. So yeah, I didn't do a lot, but I made a dent. And so I started a new project, was starting my firewood pile. I want to have firewood for ourselves for when we put in our little patio and have a fire pit. But I also want to have firewood for camping, and for anybody that wants to go camping, just come and grab some and head up the hill. So hope to have maybe a cord and a half, maybe 2 cords here at the most, probably. If I ever get a wood-burning stove in a workshop or something, I may get more. But here's a look right before I left. And as you see, even with the city property mowed down, it all looks pretty good. It looks pretty ship-shape. Again, this area has some grass, but it's mostly weeds. So when you mow it, it looks pretty good. But you leave a week and you come back, and it doesn't look so good. The dandelions are already popping back up. So got the new gate latch put on the gate, so that's an improvement. So that was something. The old owner is back and going through their property to move some property, and he's been working on the property a little bit too. So there's a look at all the work I did and all the grass clippings that I'm using to smother the weeds. And I still got to figure out what to do with the driveway. The weeds are growing in the driveway, and I might flame weed it. That's probably what I'll end up doing once I get a flame weeder, but I just end up mowing dust. And I was sucking dust all weekend. But pasture looks good. It's ready for animals, so we'll see if the neighbor does bring animals on. If not, I have to go do something else. So again, I did chop a little bit more wood, so there's, got a little start on it. So it's pretty good wood. I'm not sure it's a shagbark something. I don't know what kind of tree this is. This isn't the Chinese elm that I have in the back that's got the cord of wood I need to bring down. But this was a shagbark tree in the front yard of our rental, and they pruned that out, the tree service. So made a dent in the wood chips because, again, it seems like the wood chips smother out lots of grasses, but they don't smother out the bindweed. And so I'm still going to be battling bindweed. Now here's the wild roses, and these are blooming this time of the year, and they're just getting full bloom, and they're beautiful. You see a lot of these, orange or reddish and yellow mixed together throughout the county that the hobby farm is at. So they're really pretty this time of the year. There's a lot of lilac bushes too, and I whacked my lilac bushes down last year, so they didn't really produce many flowers, but they're looking green and lush anyway. Now here's my little garden. I thought I'd be way ahead of the game gardening-wise, and I'm not. Potatoes are doing good. The onions and the garlic are doing well, and that's all I've managed to plant down here, other than all I do is pull weeds, it seems like, or mow. But got another bed I want to put in, and at least do beets and carrots maybe. But Mr. Lincoln came down, and he's really enjoying this tall grass in the pasture. He just gets lost in it. The grass is literally up to my waist. I'm 6'3", and it's, 4 feet tall maybe. So Lincoln is, not quite that tall, as you see. But he's enjoying the grass. And as you see here, he runs off into the grass, and he just, for a slight second, he disappears from view. But here's the cute part here coming up. Right now, he sees Mama, and he says, oh, I'm going to act like a deer. So he's jumping. So anyway, I hope you like this video. And if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. My channel's growing, but I could always use more viewership. Thank you.